administration announcing the Kennedy Center, a performing arts venue in our nation's capital, will now be called Trump Kennedy Center.
You can see here work has already begun to add Trump's name to the building. According to the White House press secretary and President Trump, the center's board voted unanimously to make the name change.
One Ohio lawmaker, however, says a muted microphone prevented her from voicing her opposition to the move.
Our Curtis Jackson spoke to Representative Joyce Beatty, who has been anything but silent following the vote.
Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, thank you for taking the time.
No, thank you for having me. I'm always pleased to be here with you.
Walk me through how this meeting went. Greenwood sings "God Bless the USA," and then they take up business. And what happens from there?
Well, we were in our noticed board meeting. It was a little non-traditional for the beginning. We did receive notice that it would not be held at the Kennedy Center or at the White House or in Washington, D.C. We could join by Zoom. It was being held at the home of the Wins. And so when the board meeting opened, we had our noticed agenda with a few items on it, but none of those items said that we would be voting on changing the name of the Kennedy Center to the Trump Center. But when they went to the part that we were going to name, the board had decided to bring to the board for a vote, but it was already decided that the name would now be the Trump Center. Later, someone clarified that it would be the Donald Trump John Kennedy Center. Not sure what it actually was going to say, but they immediately, we heard the voices of a few people saying, "This is wonderful, I support this, I vote for this is unanimous." I was trying to speak, I asked to speak. Others who were on the call could hear that, but my microphone was immediately muted. I was saying, "This is Congresswoman Beatty. I would like to ask some questions. I have some concerns." And I kept getting muted versus unmuted. Then I received a screenshot that said my microphone would not be unmuted. As I continued to push it to unmute, another screenshot came up and said participants' mics would not be unmuted. And therefore, they proceeded to say that this is a unanimous vote. I take exception to that. I should have been allowed to speak. I have voted in the past. And plus, their actions were illegal.
Do you think Congress needs to act at this point? And are you hearing from your colleagues on either side of the aisle that this is something that they would try to do something about?
Well, I think this has caught many of us by surprise. Leader Jeffries did make a statement that this is not legal. We've heard from Joe Kennedy, a former member of the Congress, a former ambassador and board member, has clearly laid out that it is illegal by congressional law. We also have an oversight committee, and my colleague, who is the ranking member on the Interior Committee on Appropriations, we are sending a letter to the administration about this.
Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, thank you for your time.
No, thank you.